I know, I'm sorry for the thumbnail, but this desperately needs attention, and I hope the big man can see this too. So, PoE 2 just released their 1.0D patch notes to how many dicks I'm sucking, alright? And there are lots of quality of life changes with some buffs, and a deserved nerf, I would say, to what is just OP before. But what changed for the blood mages? The most significant change for us is in one sentence. Leech has been buffed. By how much? Who knows? No one knows. But now, what does that mean for us? Spell Leech is back, baby. But it only affects hit spells, meaning no DOT leeches, which also means my Chaos build is still trash. Are there successful blood mages? Hell yeah, there are a lot of them. But are they Chaos blood mages?
Oh, hell no!
Remember the last video on how excited I was trying to bring some glory to the Chaos Witches? Well, sucks to be me, I guess. Like the man says,
winners win and losers lose.
and I don't think you know how hard we are losing right now. Unless you are a blood mage thinking that you're some undying leech, but instead, you only get one viable route. The crit spell hit blood mage, where you invest everything into crits for maximum damage and lifesteal, and become a literal one-man army. But anything else at all, you just die. But let's break down why me, a Chaos Blood Mage, is choking on not just one, but multiple 12 inches. Firstly, Blood Mage is not friendly to any build other than the crit build. Why? Because she uses her health as mana, and if she crits, for every 2 seconds, she can pick up a blood orb that drops by enemies' feet and can overheal up to double her max health. But what if the boss is out of reach? Well, too bad for you then.
Winners win and losers lose.
Secondly, there are no good chaos related anything without any sort of restrictions. So what define as good? Well, let's take a look at Fireball or even Firewall or anything for that matter on the mage skill tree. There are 135 skills, but only 14 of them are related to chaos. And can you guess how many she can actually use? Only 4. And do you know how many attacking spells without any restrictions she can use? Only 2. So out of 135 skills, we only have like 1.5 subpar single target DOT chaos damage with one other totem that do subpar damage. But mind you, spells need HP, and DOT and totem damage does not count towards spell leech. So basically, you're killing yourself with the ascendancy perk, or you can just be a witch that has 3% max health more than a normal witch.
And losers lose.
But wait, there's more. Thirdly, skill tree, the backbone of every build, is biased against chaos builds. Why? Nothing on the skill tree applies to DOT. Skill duration? Non-existent. Slows and debuffs? Nope. One above your only chaos reducing curse? Sorry. And worst of all, contagions is not even included in the chaos damage skill tree.
And losers lose.
There's even more. You see on the other branch of the ascendancy tree, infinite curses. Take note, cursors, a plural, is used. And in fact, it does last forever. I tested. But there is a catch. You can only have one curse activated at a single time. Meaning, you can only have one curse that is on infinite duration. And if you apply another one, it just overrides the old one. But do you know what's even worse? The amount of mana to use the curses, or in this case, the amount of HP is just insane. Unless you have 6 ascendancy points after Act 5, only then you can heal back the HP that you use on the cursors, or else you are just killing yourself.
And losers lose.
Lastly, does that mean the spell Blood Mage have a future? Nope, because of a stat called Leech Resistance. So basically, at the end game or higher, you can expect not to heal anything of spells and just go in melee range to pick up those blood orbs for recovery. But hopefully, it won't become a situation like slitting your wrist to just drown an elephant.
And losers lose.
To be honest, I know that Leech is very hard to balance, as you either have an unkillable god or a vampire with garlic dick down his throat with like no middle ground. So I really hope that this gets improved. If you watched till here, I might as well show you my supposed Chaos Witch build with only 3% max health buff, since I spent so much time trying to make this work and didn't know how much Blood Mage was unusable and didn't look up any guides to not ruin the discovery. But at this point, I feel like I'm just stroking and choking on multiple 12 inches and still trying to lick their balls as they bruise my chin. And do you know what's the worst part? The comparison to not only other classes, but our cousin is just devastating enough.
Your flesh!
This fellow has been here far too long.
Even a corpse! Eat radiant! The light shall remain!
I'm sure a Kopek.
And losers lose.
But as a heads up, I don't have any past experiences with Diablo or PoE1 because of my potato PC, so the build I went for is just purely on my limited knowledge of the game after 50 hours and about 150k gold for rerolling and just respeccing, but it still works. Kinda. So the core is the totem. Yeah, I know. It's the only other spell that can be used with the Chaos build without sacrificing curses. So basically, you buff the heck out of the totem with limited increase, cast speed, duration, and anything good like a minion that you can summon from anywhere without like respawn timers. They are really good at clearing mobs since their projectile is AoE, and if enemies group up, they just die really fast, and is somewhat effective against bosses. But you always need to apply debuffs for DPS. But none of this can spell lifesteal. So you're basically just killing yourself if you're playing Chaos Mage right now. Like the man says,
Winners win and losers lose.
hopefully, with Chaos Mage can just choke on a micro dick instead. And of course, the dream is to not suck any more dicks. But who knows, right? Who knows?